So yeah, so when I bring Sadie out, I'm going to be walking around a couple times, just me and her, you know, on the leash, just to get her focused and calm and relaxed. And then you're going to join in and, you know, and have her on your side. She's on your left side, right? So as you're doing it, I'll be beside you. She'll be in the middle. And so I'm going to help in just getting her to relax, tap her back. Really good interaction. And then we'll make a trip around. And when we come around, then you can take a seat and just relax for a minute again, take a break. So we're just going to take our time. And so it's just like doing this maybe 3 or 4 times, just around slowly and just really getting dialed in and get her just to really relax, doing some downs with her. And then we're going to transition into the standing part, getting her to stand up and assist and putting some weight onto her and leaning on, like pushing on her back. As I focusing on getting her to stop. As I focus in on making sure I'm shaking. So if she suddenly decides she wants to try to go to a sit position while you're pushing on her back, I'm going to move her a little bit to reshape it, to make sure it's, you know, the responses are coming together. So you'll be working with me. It's like a kind of a mirroring exercise, right? So I'm like, you know, I'm doing a lot of it, and then you're pushing at times, and then you're even. Whatever you need to do. You need to answer, go ahead.
No, wrong.
Okay.
Finally.
So what I'll do is, and then you'll take over a little bit too with the, you know, with the leash and stuff at times, you know. So it's just like working this out to really get her mind in a really good place and relaxed. And then we're going to transition after doing this a few times to standing exercise, even from a seated position too. We're going to work on that too. So we're going to bring her around after and have her over here beside you, and then giving her command to stand up. And you're going to put your hand on and then move from the chair, do a little of that too. So just getting her familiar with tasks a little bit. So this would be, like I said, walking, the standing exercise, and then we're going to move to the vehicle part again. And just do that a couple times, 2 or 3 times, you know, just with you sitting in the back seat, and same type of exercise we did before.
So when I walk her at home, where she looks on my left side,
Yeah.
and I say, sit, she sits, and she'll automatically go down. I don't even say down.
Well, we want to not, so we're going to stop her from doing that.
Yeah.
Because we want her to default sit automatically, right? That's a good thing. But we don't want her just to decide on her own to go and go down too.
Yeah.
Right? So we're going to stop that happening.
Okay.
But we're going to get her to do it, but again, we're going to pause it so that she knows that we're in control. Right? And then we're going to do it. It's interesting too, when we take control, right? You see the dog change, because she'll go into a down maybe to make it stop. She feels like you're taking control of her. She'll go into a down, and a lot of times, a lot of dogs will say they do that to try to use their body weight to stop that type of interaction because they sense that you're taking control. All right, so we're going to pause to make sure that she knows that we're in control, we're calling the shots, and she's there as a helper. So this will help take stress off of her too, because if we're in control, she doesn't have to be. It's changing, going to change her focus. Okay. So again, I'm going to use the choke chain up high in the neck, but it's just about how we use it, right? Just about being proactive and just kind of knowing how her mind is moving, right? So stopping her. So I'm going to bring her out, right? I'm going to move. I'm just going to say, first, just her and I'm just going to walk around and get her focus right a little bit. And then you're going to join in, and we're going to work through this. So this will be good. Let me grab her.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know about that sitting, because as soon as, if she sits, she'll automatically go to a down position.
Okay, that's a good thing to know, because we don't want her. We don't want her to do that. You know, we want her to relax. Down. Yeah, we want her to do it when we tell her to do it, right? So I'll bring her out here. Again, same thing. I'm going to turn her away from you just for a moment. The same contrast here. If a dog has because Milo was doing that yesterday too in the store at first a little bit. If I'm taking a level of control with the dog and they see the pathway to escape it, in terms of the owner, to see them really shift their focus. They really want to go to that owner and say, I want to go to, you know, back to the owner, get away from Dale, right? Because Dale's taking a little bit more control, which the dog needs. But then as the person is interacting too, because right here, Sadie's not looking at you that way right now. She's like pretty calm right here, which is a good sign, right? So here, I'm just going to move her a little bit. So, because when I take her out like this, you know, whoever has the leash, when you have the leash, the same thing, you want her to stay focused on you. Even if the trainer is beside you, you don't want her focusing on me that way, right? You just tap the leash a little bit. But the good news is that this will all line up here anyway. So I'm going to move here with her a little bit. Move, same thing, let's put her to sit. And same thing with pushing a little bit. For me anyway, this is something that I'm doing as a trainer, just getting her, putting a little bit of influence on her so she feels me that way, right? That pushing a little bit gives her a little bit of a sense as to I'm in control. And even here, I just nudge a little bit. So that's inwardness here that I'm going for. It doesn't have to be looking up in my eyes. It's just this type of inwardness right here. That's why I call it a fade in, but that's the focus, right? It's generating focus. Here. And so here, yeah, if she tries to lay down, I'm not going to let it happen, right? So it's like, if I'm here like this, and if she tries to do that, Joanne, the choke, see right here, she thought about it for a second, right? And just keep that choke chain fairly tight, but just tight enough that it's, you know, you're right there. It doesn't mean tight in the sense that you're creating conflict with her or giving her a direction under influence. It's just that she has a sense that I'm in control. So that can look really tight, but I'm releasing the dog. There's release points, right? She gives, I give, right? But, you know, when the dog has a certain amount of control, you have to keep this fairly, you know, tight, just so, because it's too loose like that. Because now, see what's happening, right? She can, right now, because we're in process, right? We already know that we need to change her perception, so we have to be a little bit more at that point of having that level of control that she can sense, right? She's saying, we're doing really well. But here when I bring her to sit, there's still that little bit of, see, she wants to get out here, away from me a little bit, and so I have to direct that. Change the direction of that to get her in tight to me. Because I'm just going to make one trip around here. I'm going to join in just not after this one little trip. She's doing pretty good. I can't see us, but we're just directing her in.
At home we do good, except for when she sits, she automatically then wants to lay down.
Well, we're not right here. See, she tried to do it. See right now? I stopped it, right? I stopped it just by halting. You know, just so she knows there's a line there, right? And she tries to do it. But here's the thing, as I interrupt that more and more, she'll stop anyway. Even for you. Right? As we just consistently stop her from doing it, she'll understand, well, that's not going to work. Right? We need her to stay up. Because right here, you know, because the switches, she tried to do it right now for under her own control, right? But here, if I start to push on her back to get her down, that's what I want, you know, it's a difference, right? Now, that's okay, because it's about who is in control. So I pushed on her back in a way that I didn't have to say down. We'll say that after, and I'll start to say it more, because you're going to lean fully on those commands after a while. But for me, in the training process, you know, it's the language of the method. Influence is part. So I just started to push on her, and I want to stay focused on the interaction, speaking the right language first, and then packaging, right, at a certain point. Then I'll say down, and then they don't have to touch her, right? Because we've already kind of changed her perceptions to, you know, through what we're doing through training through sequence. So right here, same thing. Just look, see, that's enough pressure. Bring up to the sit. I'll bring her right, but I want her right here. See that right beside me. Dogs don't want to be right here. They have control. See, she wants to get out here a little bit away from me, a few inches. Really important that I make her agree to, right? Right here, right beside me, because the shadow will be coming over. So we come close to you here in a moment, and then you're going to switch to bring her to your left side. So here, so you can stand up now if you want. Go ahead and stand up to me. Yeah, I'm going to bring her, and you can just, here, we're going to switch sides up. You come over wherever you replace me, just keep control of the leash up. Just take your time. Yeah, just kick up, and just, So we're going to take like baby steps. We're going to take like just one little step, and as you do it, just keep up. So right, come forward here. There you go. Go ahead and stop. And I'm gonna use my knee to help to kind of move her a little bit, and then I tap her a little bit here to get her to go into a sit. There we go. So I'm gonna use my body a little bit.
Yeah, because she gets her rear end out away from it.
Yeah, that's what she tries to do with me too, right?
Yeah.
Because she wants, if you're in control, she doesn't like that.
Mhm.
It's like the new you, and she's trying to keep a little bit of distance because she's, it's about who's in control, right? That causes a reaction. Her mind is reacting to that, and her body is shifting over, right? But we want her to go where we want her to go, right? We want her, it's really important that she agrees to be right beside you, but this is where I'm going to correct that, correct it in a way that, the same thing. Now I'm going to put her back in the sit. Yeah, I'm going to bring a little influence onto her to get this lined up. So yep, now we can move forward when you want to again. Stop again in a second. Stop again, tap the leash a little bit. I'm going to move my knee just against her a little bit so she can't shift out. Tap the leash a little bit. There we go, see that? So I'm going to act like an extension of you. All right, so I'm kind of following your natural movements to help to kind of give you a little bit more influence, right? So she thinks it's coming from you. So go again, yeah, you ready? Stop again. Tap the leash a little bit. Good, excellent. Tap it here just a little bit, just to get her focus back on you a little bit. There we go. Now, right here, say down.
Down.
See that? That was really good. So I didn't have to touch her
Yeah.
there, right? Now you can stand up and let the leash go a little bit. Just stand up and be comfortable and relax. Yeah. Tell me you feeling, you okay? Just
Yeah.
like this, okay? So here, that was good because that followed the right path. So I didn't have to touch her because I knew when you gave that command, she was responding to it the right way.
Right.
Right, so typically I would have to give her a little bit of influence, but this is already lining up even the time that during phase 1, we're in phase 2 now, but she's already starting to get more responsive, agreeable the right way. So here, when we say sit, we say sit, but you apply a little bit of pressure to that leash just so she senses that you want her to come up as you say the word. But as you say the word, now say sit, start to pull.
Sit.
See that? And then I'm going to put her into, so when she comes up from that sit position, when she comes up from a down, I want her to automatically go right into a sit position again before we start moving again, right?
Okay.
So this is just about, it's like language, right? So these are all kind of interactions to help to establish, help to really, get her to focus on you. But it's like language, like a period at the end of a sentence, kind of how these interactions kind of link together. So when you're ready, you move again a little bit. Because we're just getting her to pace you. This is what this is about, yeah. And then stop again, tap her a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, push as you say, yeah. There you go. There you go, yeah. And like I said, if we sense that she's trying to do it down on her own, we're going to stop that, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't try to do it. But if she does, then right here, just right here, just probably look, see that, yeah, good. Yeah. And then as we move, we're going to kind of edge into her a little bit because we're going to take a little bit of a turn. Because we don't want to run right into the wall here, but just start to move to your left a little bit, tap as you go, there you go. And I'm just going to help use my knee a little bit, just to kind of move over towards you a little bit. There we go. And then tap her and say sit again. There we go, that was really good. Give her another command to go, where.
Down.
There you go. And then let the leash go so you're comfortable, you're relaxed. That's perfect, Joanne. How'd that feel so far?
Yeah, that feels good.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. When she's in a sit position and I tell her down, she's comfortable.
Yeah.
It's only when she gets her rear end out that way and she automatically goes down, then I have an angle problem.
Yeah, well, an angle problem, and then it's a relationship problem because she's moving out already.
Right.
Right, so then everything that comes off of that is not going to be good. So here what I'm doing is I'm stopping that from happening. So when she's going to sit, I'm using my knee, not hard or anything, to help to kind of nudge her, move her as she's in motion, because then it connects more to her natural thinking, right? Rather than she stops and try to drag her over, right? It's always better to, like shaping, it's always better to do it because it kind of molds into her natural thinking. As she's in motion, I'm using my knee to kind of make sure she moves the right way.
Yeah.
Right, but I do it as a trainer, right?
Yeah.
So this is something we're working on anyway to make this adjustment, kind of like recalibrating her mind, right?
Yeah.
And then so we're gonna do this again here, just we're gonna make a full trip around, then you'll sit down and we'll get into the standing part, but, so here, same thing, give her the command to come up, and then it's a little bit of leash
Up.
pressure. Yep, just sit,
Sit,
yep, and then
sit.
say up, so we wanna use the actual command, but yeah, so there we go, good. And then shuffle forward when you're ready, we're just doing a lot of stopping here, tap a little bit, yep, yep, and then stop again, oh, sit.
Sit, sit.
There we go, perfect. Yeah, and then when you feel comfortable, she's relaxed, tap her a little bit, tap the leash a little bit, there you go, that's good. No, yeah, you can go again, very good, John. And then, just relax here. Now even if she's down here, tap the leash right now just a little bit. She's sniffing the floor a little bit, tap the leash, she smells Milo.
Oh,
There, and stop it. So sometimes if she's using her nose too, to want to sniff, kind of tap it over, saying to her, just relax.
yeah.
You want her not to, want her to stay focused on you, ready for another command. So if you notice that she's sniffing the floor, just a little nudge, just
Yeah.
right, that was good. So we give her the command to, again, to,
Sit,
there you go, she's very sensitive to that, there we go.
sit.
There you go, yeah, good, right.
See, because I was having a hard time at home. She would sit, but then with this hand, I was having to push her over.
Yeah,
And I
and-
don't want her, I
No.
can't be over her body.
Yeah, no, we're cutting that off now to really establish that. Because what you're doing there is, it's already happened, right? Before, it's like she already got out from you, and then you're trying to shove her over. Here, I'm moving her as she's in motion,
Right.
and I'm lining this stuff up so that she knows that, hey,
Yeah.
I want her agreeable, to make sure she comes into the right position,
Yeah.
because, that's a reaction to being in control, right? So, go forward when you want to, again, go in, just keep her right beside you, tap her this way as you move, and move in this way a little bit, your leg, tap her back a little bit, and then back, and then put her back into a sit, there we go. And you don't have to, you just keep her up this way, and move again when you're ready. Okay, right here, bring her back a little bit, bring her back, there we go.
So
Just here.
her head should be
That's
at my
right,
hip.
yeah, we don't want it, edging out, so I'm just gonna prevent that, because she's kinda wanting to edge out, which is part of this, right? Just getting this correct, because we'll make one more trip around here, if you're okay with that, how you feel, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, just get from laying down, so make sure the choke chain's up nice and high in the neck.